First, one, what do you make of the election of, because we haven't had opportunity of speaking on this issue, so I'm wondering what you're thinking about his re-election as Member of Parliament for Assin.
Well, certain things you push too hard, it goes the opposite way. That's what has happened. The prosecution pushed too hard, and then people come to believe that they are persecuting him, so they rally around him. That is what happens, right? But the issue is a bit complicated than that. First of all, Mr. Clinton ran, what was it, 2016? Did he run?
No, he did not run in 2016.
He ran 2016. Is it the first time he ran in 2020? No, there was an issue before this one. There was an issue before that. He's not qualified before this one. That is the problem. If this is the first time, it won't be a big problem. But if you run before and they claim you are not qualified, and then now you run again and you've done the right thing, that means when you ran before, you knew you were not qualified. So I can say that, okay, when somebody does something wrong, he goes to court. It's not just the act you look at. You look at the motive. If you did it before, why didn't you do the right way? That makes it very difficult to be sympathetic to him. This time when he ran, he did the right thing, except it didn't go through at the right time, you see. But if you want to use that to defend him, what about before? That's the problem. But all these things said, the court will look at the motive. And then the circumstances. This man was disqualified. He was disqualified because he didn't do it the first time. This is when they threw him out of Parliament, right? Now he's gone back, done it again. He's supposed to have done it right. Still, he's being persecuted. Well, did he mean to deceive? That's the question that should be answered. Was his attempt at deception? The second time around, I don't think so. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He said he went through the processes, but because of COVID, the reception and the certificate, whatever, it didn't go through at the right time. But when the people he represents have voted, in spite of these charges, and voted for him, that should be considered. Because it's almost like direct democracy, right? There's some issues like a referendum, direct democracy. The government has gone back to the people. Do you still want this man? They have answered yes, overwhelmingly. So what do you want? The wrong he did was in line with the same thing, to represent them, right? He did wrong, okay. The prosecutor has a point. He did wrong, there's no doubt about it. But the judge is the one who's supposed to look at these technicalities and say, okay, what he did, is he meant to deceive or what? That the court has to decide. It is not a rigid thing that you done wrong, therefore, sometimes you speed. You go over the speed limit, the police stops you. The circumstances under which you are speeding alone will let the police. Sometimes they can even help you to speed even more because there's somebody at the back seat who is dying. And the police itself will be stopped, blowing the horn, get out of the way, and speed up more to get to the hospital. So it's not just a matter of you are speeding. What is the circumstances? So the court is supposed to look at all those things. And in addition, since they have overwhelmingly voted for him again, that too should be considered. We seem to forget. Our first president was in jail when Ghanaians voted for him. Therefore, the colonial administration freed him from jail to become the head of government business. Not so. How different is this one? This is on a smaller level, but it's the same thing. If the people have voted for him, please, he didn't steal your money. He wanted to represent the people. He didn't do it the right way. I understand all of that. But when the people come and affirm that this is the man we want, eventually you have to look at that too. Because not to look at that is alienating that section of the population. The government is not here just to punish people. So the Attorney General should not approach issues like this that way. This is why he had the sympathy votes. I was there. I was at Assin North. I mean, it could have been worse. He could have gotten 60% of the vote, no doubt at all. The amount of money the government spent, it's supposed to be 15 million cities. That's a conservative estimate. But I hear they spent only 9 of the 15. And it's still lost. They asphalted the Assin North section of the road from Cape Coast. All nice markings, everything. They still lost. We were building bridges, whatever. They still lost. They gave money. Yes, we say vote buying is illegal. MPP bought votes. Why? Why would you go to that extent? The money is in bags, you understand, in sacks. Our pictures here. So there's no denying it. How desperate are we? How desperate is MPP? Why? Why would you do all these things? The one who's supposed to uphold the law is the one who's flaunting the law. The president was there. Where did the money come from? Did he know about it? If he doesn't know about it, where did it come from that he doesn't know about it? You understand? When he was at Assin North, these payments were going on. So I cannot say he doesn't know about it. This is not good. And we look at all these things, the great need we have in this country. And because of election, we put everything aside and isolate this one constituency and spend this kind of money flaunting affluence in the midst of poverty. This is no good. It's no good. But people were angry. Even sympathizers were angry. MPP sympathizers. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Anyway, the legal issue is there. As I've said, it's not clear-cut by that. But it's the judge who will decide. So let the judge decide. Let's help the judge. But sometimes it helps to put things in perspective. As I told you, Nkrumah was in jail when he won the election. The government freed him to become head of government business. The whole country. So what is the issue? We have a precedent. Not so. What is the issue here?
And I'm guessing you're commenting on the suggestion, because there's been a suggestion that all prosecutions are done at the by the Attorney General, mostly on behalf of the president, because the president ultimately holds all executive power. And in some cases, the Attorney General has gone to court and decided that, okay, I am no longer going to continue in this case. And the courts have no reason to stop him from doing that. He can file a nolle prosequi and discontinue the case. The suggestion is that at this point, that is what the Attorney General should do. Do you agree?
Well, there are so many ways. It's not only that. He can go through the prosecution, maybe even speed it up, and the court will have to rule. After that, president says, okay, the people have elected him, let him go. It is very simple. That's one way. But if you are going to do that, why do you go through all these hustles of prosecution, the hard expenditure? Why don't you stop it now? That's what I say. You see, I don't think politicians and chiefs and whoever should come in and say this or that. We can advise the Attorney General, on the private side, that the thing is not going well. Let's stop this. You see, look, we tend to forget what you are doing to this man may come to you yourself. Because I can assure you, if it turns out that Bawumia has a citizenship of Britain, all hell will break loose. Do you think the NDC will agree to dismiss it? No. That is the issue. The way you treated this small one, if the big one comes, God forbid, what are you going to do? That's the issue. So don't look at just condemning someone. It's not clear-cut like that. Right? So let's be a bit civil and reasonable about these things. He didn't kill someone. He didn't steal money. Yes, it's illegal to do what he did. But as long as he made the attempt to formalize what he did, to do the right thing, if he fell short, that's what we have to look at. So it's timelines we are looking at. Timelines. When did you file the thing? When was the last date? All of that. If you look at all of that, you see that he's telling the truth. COVID times, who had real time to do anything? The whole world was upside down. So if it's within that time, then the court must be reasonable and see that yes, he filed it from his perspective. He filed it in time. But the other party, which is the embassy, the Canadian High Commission, did not process it fast enough, and this is why it was late. Okay, that's it. Besides, his people have voted for him. What choice do you have? That's the thing.
Look, in this whole matter, the matter of the Electoral Commission has also been raised by some who feel that the Electoral Commission, being responsible for elections, had the opportunity when this matter came before them before the election 2020. That somebody actually went before them and petitioned them that the man asked at the time was not qualified. They held a hearing, listened to Mr. James Chikwesing, listened to the petitioner, and then concluded that based on what he had told them, the processes he had gone through, they were convinced that he was qualified, and then so allowed him to go ahead and contest in 2020. Yet the Electoral Commission was sued in court, and they provided none of these facts. That if they had done that, it would have told the matter in one way or the other. What do you make of these suggestions being made?
Well, the Electoral Commission is not court. It's only the court that will decide an issue that you have contending theories, positions, all of that. So the Electoral Commission did the right thing. They supervise elections. They don't decide whether you are qualified constitutionally, whatever. They are not equipped to do that. So go to court. And this is what is happening. If the man says, I'm qualified, somebody says he's not qualified, how is the Electoral Commissioner going to do it? And this one, you have to get details information. I filed it in time. He didn't file it in time. He's not a citizen. He's a citizen. It's the court that will decide, not the Electoral Commission. So they did their part. I don't see any issue there at all.
Ultimately, Doc is saying that going ahead with the prosecution is not reasonable, depending on what has happened in Assin.
In a lot of ways, it's a waste of time. Yes, I'm saying that in a way. He did wrong, no doubt at all. If your matter didn't go through on time, that's your problem. You should have filed it earlier than that. That's what he would say, right? Especially when this issue had come up before, and you wait till the last minute to do it. No, so you are not very. In a way, you are a bit negligent, right? But when the people come back and affirm that this is the one we want, that makes all the difference. And I'm giving you Nkrumah's example, right? When the people did that, it's direct democracy. They take the issue away from your hands. They make the decision themselves. They made the law themselves. The law that this is the one we want. And so if you are trying to use other means to throw him out, you shouldn't, because it destroys the democracy, right? And even if the president says, okay, let the processes go on, and after that, I'll use my power to pardon him, no, you're wasting time. You're wasting money. You're spreading grief. Why would you go through all of this if you're going to pardon him? Stop it. And we have the president of Kwame Nkrumah, first president situation. We all know that. He was in jail when he became head of government business. It's the same thing. Not so. And so, yes, I think they should stop it. They should stop the process. That's the right thing to do.
Look, thank you. But did you say MPP budgeted 50 million cedis, spent 9 million cedis in Assin North?
The people I talked to on the scene, that's what some of them said. That one guy said, "Oh, 15 million." They were so. Then the other one said, "We didn't get 15 million." So I don't know what was going on.
That is in cash.
Yes.
That was shared on the day.
Yes, and I saw them standing there with a sack of cash. This is shameful. This is shameful. When we know you cannot do that, you cannot buy vote, and yet here we are in broad daylight. No attempt to hide it. Sack of cash to pay people. It's not good. We are ruining our country. The leaders who are supposed to enforce the law to make the country work, they are the ones who are flaunting the law because it's advantageous for them to do that. If the government itself is doing that, why can't others do it? That's the question.
Doc, thank you. Thank you for speaking to us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Richard Amoako Baah is a political scientist speaking to us this morning. We'll go shortly to have a conversation with our senior, Mr. Raymond Archer.